All right, so some of you know the PTS update just dropped and the Kenworth was in the files. Now it's actually a live truck on the PTS server. If you have it, go check it out. It's probably going to be pretty fun to play. As you can see, it's a big hulking piece of metal. We're going to just take a quick overview look. I'm not going to get into any gameplay. My testing is going to be separate of the PTS server. I will do it whenever the live server drops. There's no reason for me to get into a review when the truck is actually not on the live server and all the changes have been made. Because as we know, changes do happen from PTS update to PTS update and also from PTS to live server. So this will just be a quick overview. I'll show you guys some charts, some numbers, and I think you guys will be impressed so far. So let's check it out. So there's 3 engines here, and I'm going to talk about some numbers for the first engine. First engine has 175,000 torque here. The second engine is 190, and then the third jumps up quite a bit to 253, beating out the, I think it's the Westline V16M 2450, I believe. I think there's 4 trucks that share it. I think it is both twin steers. And then both of the cats, the 770G and the 745C. I'm not sure if there's another one in there or not. I could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments. It's kind of hard to remember all those things if I don't have my notes in front of me. But anyways, quite a bit of torque at 253. However, I think it could be a little bit more. And the reason I think it could be a little bit more is due to this vehicle's weight, and we'll talk about its weight distribution first, and then I'll bring up its actual weight for my conversions. But if you don't like the conversion I do to US tons, just because I'm from the US, so I do that, I'm kind of weird. So I apologize for anyone who sticks to kilograms and metric tons. Anyways, there's 13,000 kilograms in the chassis, 13,000 in the cab, so it comes to a 50-50 distribution. However, there's a hidden, I don't want to say hidden. If you scroll down just a little bit more, you can see there's 3,000 mass here in the suspension. So there's a little bit more down low than there is up top. And another thing is the vehicle's pretty darn wide. So I don't think it's going to have any type of rolling issues as well. You know, big tires. It looks like it's set pretty wide. I don't foresee anything. Also, I haven't had much testing in it. So that could be changing too as well. So another thing I do want to say now, as we just looked at that weight, this vehicle actually is the heaviest vehicle in the game. Now, before we move forward here, I just have to mention that all these weights in here are converted to US tons. They do not have wheel weights on them. Okay, so there is no wheel weights. I'm not adding the wheel weights here on the Kenworth are super heavy. So these would be 600 kilograms per wheel, I believe. I don't add any weights whenever I calculate weights. It just goes strictly by those numbers that we just went over. So I don't add any wheel weights. However, I did hear that with wheel weights, the Collab 74760 is still heavier. However, just because I don't do that, it's the heaviest vehicle in the game without wheels. It was at like 31.96 US tons whenever I did the conversion. And I think I just bumped it up to 32 because, yeah, I just rounded up just to make it even. So it's definitely heavier than the Collab without wheels. So kind of crazy. And I don't know if 253,000 torque is going to be enough to do big things with a big vehicle, as big a vehicle as this. So we'll see. Anyways, let's move on to the gearboxes. As you can see, there's a fine tune, which is still a little bit different here for being a heavy truck. We usually don't see these. We have been seeing a little bit more of these as of recent. This is one that kind of is pretty wild. It gets a high range gearbox, and this high range gearbox actually has 7 gears. And we'll check that out here as well. So here is the high range, 7 gears. The standard all-wheel drive penalty as usual. High gear pretty much works as intended, I think, for most of these. If you guys have seen some irregularities with high gear, as we have seen with the Zix 612 Hotel, just let me know in the comments. Hopefully they get that fixed, or put that in the PTS suggestions for Sabre to fix as well. Now the advanced special, 5 gears, and the special has 4. So I'm probably going to just stick to the advanced special here. I think it'll be okay. The consumption is not really that much more with the advanced special, so I'll probably stick to it. 0 consumption, all-wheel drive penalty. Love to see it. Looks darn good. Let's move on here. Stock suspension, I didn't expect to have any type of active, any type of race suspension. I think this will stay the same, being that it does have 71-inch tires, and 71-inch tires that look darn good. However, these tires aren't that good with coatings per se. I do hope this changes. I would actually like to see these all-terrain tires be better than these ones here. These are some pretty darn good tires, actually, the MSH2, and we'll take a look at that as well. And also this product, I will put a link in the description of the video. A friend of the channel, McKillum, who is kind of a tester, he actually posted this to me. I believe I messaged him and he gave me this link, so I'm going to share it. Hopefully he doesn't mind. If he does, then I'll have to take it down. So thank you, McKillum, for this info, and everybody on the PTS server for giving your feedback to Sabre. It is awesome. Thank you. That is why we get changes. All right, so the Kenworth 963, as you can see, the width of the tires are a little bit more than average, and the coatings are not on par. Now, when we go down to the 771 MSH2, which is the variant I do recommend using for now, you can see the 3.2 value, and the tire width is still at 0.78, just a little less width than the other ones. And this is why I think using these is a better option. One could argue that hitting the ground dirt when you sink in and having that little bit more traction when you hit the bottom of the mud surface, hit the dirt underneath, that this could pan out better. But hey, I think it's like tomato here. Use what you want. I personally am going to use the MSH2. They do pretty darn well. So hopefully these tires change, because I do like how they look. I'd rather not use these. I feel like I see these too much, especially on the Colobs and stuff like that, and the Cat, and I just would like to see something different. Standard winches for the heavy trucks, nothing special here. 2 different spare wheels, got 2 and got 1. You can get a high snorkel. Truck sits super high, so drowning is not going to be a concern. And moving on to the plethora of add-ons this thing has for how freaking large it is. So a couple I just want to take note of. It can do log carrier and long log frame. It can also do that with a short frame, which is actually really cool. Cannot do the medium frame in that. That's kind of a bummer. That would be awesome if it could, but it's kind of cool that it can do it with the short frame. Also, we have the large maintenance frame add-on giving 529 gallons of fuel, and then the 350 and 6 wheels. So definitely really nice there. Also, the expanded fuel tank that the 5600 TS has. This is actually the same value as the 5600 TS, 740 gallons. I believe that translates to 2,800 liters, I believe. Please check me if I'm wrong. If I am wrong, let me know in the comments. But that's just quick math there. So pretty nice it has that. I think something crazy it has is the small crane. And the small crane can be used in conjunction with a sideboard bed. It cannot be used in conjunction with a long sideboard bed or a long flatbed, sadly. Kind of thought that was going to happen, but it didn't. That's okay though, because there's a really unique add-on that I saw on Gaming with JJ's channel. So kind of stealing this from him. So thank you for that, JJ. Actually, you can use the saddle high with a fuel tank. And if you guys remember the review with the 5600 TS Paystar, it could use the maintenance add-on, or I believe it's like the repair add-on with a low saddle. And I thought that was really cool, but the only thing is the 5600 TS runs out of gas really easily. However, I don't think this vehicle is going to have a ton of issues with running out of fuel. You know, it has a huge capacity here. at 135 gallons. And then also it has a roof rack that gives it 37 more gallons and 300 repair points. We are starting to see roof racks appear a lot more. I did not expect this one on here. So I think if Saber's getting, you know, trunk repair supplies happy, they might as well add some of these to some existing vehicles in the game. I think that'd be really cool. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. If they're giving vehicles, you know, repair parts and stuff like that in these roof racks on new trucks, why can't we get some on the old ones? Just some food for thought there. So anyways, back to this. So it has a plethora of add-ons, guys, it can use. I'm not going to go through all of them in detail, but really cool. I do like how the saddle high kind of sits a little bit farther back, and that will negate some frame contact with the angle it comes off here, especially when going over humps and stuff like that. So really neat. I'm kind of glad it didn't get a saddle low. I don't think that's an add-on this should have. It just sits too high. I have not done any saddle high comparisons with how high this saddle sits, but I'm a believer it sits pretty darn high where it's at currently. It might be up there with the top 3. So who knows? If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But anyways, y'all, that is the conclusion of the video. I think the Kenworth might need some more torque or some more power, responsiveness, etc. However you want to do it. I'm not really one with the coding and modding out trucks and doing tweaks, but I hope this is not a tale of a bigger version of the P12. I hope it has enough power to actually pull some very heavy things here. That's kind of what we want, right? We want a big, heavy truck to do very heavy tasks. The add-ons are all cool. They're awesome and all. I don't really think I'm going to be using this truck as like a you know, moving things from A to B all the time. I want to use it for like when I'm in a pinch, or, you know, when I'm moving something very heavy and I need to call upon kind of like contingency plan. So let me know what you guys think about the Kenworth. Now, just keep in mind, this is going to be subject to change. So a lot of changes could come, but this is just the initial kind of over glance here of the Kenworth 963. Let me know what you guys think. As always, God bless and stay upright.